The Super Eagles of Nigeria had an eventful run at the 2025 African Nations Cup, playing some of the best football it has played in years. Dominating teams in uncanny fashion and scoring the highest number of goals it has ever scored at the African tournament since inception. However, in the semi-finals against host Morocco, they were a shadow of themselves, losing out to Morocco in a half-hearted penalty shootout. In a recent video, Super Eagles legend Sunday Oliseh claimed that Victor Osimhen's chastising of teammate Ademola Lookman for not passing the ball in its round of 16 match against Mozambique led to Lookman playing demoralized in that semi-final match against Morocco and led to Nigeria consequently losing the match. In this video, we debunk this claim and present a more plausible reason for the Super Eagles' loss to Morocco in the semi-finals of the 2025 tournament. Let's get into it. Before we get to the topic of the day, we'll like to appreciate our subscribers and thank you for the likes, shares, and comments over the years. We do not take it for granted and implore you to consider subscribing to our channel. If you have been watching our videos but unsure whether you should subscribe, we would like to say it's just a metric that shows your support, so don't overthink it. Your likes and comments are a greater measure that helps the video get to more viewers. If you are feeling motivated, we have activated donations so you can now help us get a cup of coffee. This will help us with the caffeine needed to create more videos, as some of our videos require long nights for them to get to you before the weekend. Anyways, on to the video. When Nigeria lost to Morocco in the semi-final of the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations, the search for answers began immediately. Former Super Eagles captain Sunday Oliseh was quick to float a theory that captured attention. He claimed that an altercation between Victor Osimhen and Ademola Lookman disrupted team harmony, leading to Lookman's subdued performance and, by extension, Nigeria's defeat to Morocco in the semi-finals.
Since that public outburst against Ademola Lookman, one of our brightest lights, Lookman became a shadow of himself and we lost the bite. When you publicly diminish your teammates, you break their spirit. You destroy the very confidence a team needs to survive a semi-final.
It's a neat story. It's dramatic, it's clickable, but it's also deeply misleading. Because when you strip away the noise, the truth is far more uncomfortable and far more systemic. Nigeria didn't lose to Morocco because two attackers argued. Nigeria lost because the players were already mentally broken before kickoff, undermined by administration, environment, officiating, and tactical miscalculations. Football at the elite level is rarely decided by such surface-level narratives like squabbles between two players leading to team losses. If every disagreement between competitive elite athletes destroyed performance, no big team would ever win anything. When a team reaches a continental semi-final, losses are almost always structural before they are personal. And when Nigeria's performance against Morocco is examined honestly, the idea that one argument derailed 90 minutes of collective effort collapses under scrutiny. Arguments between players are not an anomaly. They are the norm in competitive environments. Dressing rooms are pressure cookers filled with ambition, pride, and expectation. Osimhen is an emotionally expressive leader, Lookman a fiercely driven competitor. That combination inevitably produces moments of friction, but friction does not equal dysfunction. If anything, it often reflects accountability. There is no credible evidence that the disagreement lingered, poisoned the squad, or caused Lookman to mentally disengage from the match. What looked like underperformance was, in reality, a player stranded in an environment stacked against his strengths. Lookman's difficulties against Morocco had less to do with attitude and more to do with circumstance. He was repeatedly isolated in midfield and, when on the flank, forced into physical duels without adequate overlap or central support. Moroccan defenders doubled up aggressively, knowing the referee would allow contact. When a player receives the ball under constant pressure, with limited passing angles and no rhythm, technical quality becomes irrelevant. That is not emotional withdrawal, it is tactical suffocation. The deeper truth is that Nigeria's players entered that semi-final already psychologically compromised, not by internal squabbles, but by forces far more corrosive, which include: Number 1. Administrative issues. Chief among the issues that led to Nigeria's loss to Morocco was the Nigeria Football Federation's familiar failure to honor match bonus commitments on time. For fans watching from home, bonuses are abstract. For players on the pitch, they are not extras. They are contractual promises. They are trust. They are respect. When you feel disrespected by the system you represent, your body plays, but your mind hesitates. And hesitation at semi-final level is fatal. To understand the team's state of mind in Rabat, one must rewind to the days before the quarterfinal. Long before facing Morocco, the Super Eagles were a squad psychologically besieged by their own federation. It is no longer news that the players had threatened to boycott preparations over unpaid match bonuses for the group stage and round of 16 victories. This is reminiscent of a similar incident before Nigeria's World Cup playoff match against the DR Congo that led to Nigeria's failure to qualify for the 2026 World Cup. While the Nigeria Football Federation offered opaque assurances that offered no reassurance, Captain Wilfred Ndidi displayed extraordinary leadership by personally guaranteeing the payments. The damage had already been done, however, as the players probably had no confidence Wilfred Ndidi's bet would pay off, and Wilfred Ndidi, who took on this responsibility, was not on the field on match day against Morocco. Whether Ndidi's gamble paid off is up for debate, as he didn't show up for the third-place match despite being available after his one-match ban for yellow cards offenses. These two recent events were not an isolated incident but the latest chapter in a chronic saga of institutional disrespect that has plagued Nigerian football for decades. Samuel Chukwueze's recent joke on a video posted on social media about how certain players were putting their lives on the line without receiving their payments might seem like an attempt to make light of the situation, but it is a clear indicator of the mindset of some players in the team regarding the situation.
You never see your money, they defend like that with your life.
No, somewhere.
Also, putting their lives on the line playing for their country is not an euphemism. It is reality, as a certain Samuel Okwaraji comes to mind who died on the field playing for Nigeria. And after his death, what did the NFF do for his family? Absolutely nothing. This issue creates a foundational climate of demoralization and mistrust. The players feel less like national heroes and more like undervalued contractors, eroding the unified spirit essential for overcoming a tactical juggernaut like Morocco. The mental and emotional energy diverted to this off-field battle was energy stolen from their on-field preparations, leaving them vulnerable before a ball was even kicked in the semifinal. At elite level, performance is inseparable from mental clarity. When players begin to question whether the institution they are representing respects them, something erodes. It may not manifest as open rebellion, but it surfaces as hesitation, emotional fatigue, and diminished sharpness in decisive moments. A player might still run, still tackle, still press, but the inner conviction that fuels extraordinary effort weakens. Against a disciplined, motivated Moroccan side, that marginal psychological deficit was magnified. Number 2. Poor refereeing decisions. As the match unfolded, another destabilizing element compounded the players' mental strain: refereeing decisions that consistently leaned in Morocco's favor. This was not a case of one controversial call, but of a cumulative pattern that subtly but persistently tilted the contest. Moroccan players were permitted to engage in robust, sometimes excessive physical contact, while Nigerian players were penalized for similar challenges. Fouls on Osimhen went unpunished, midfield collisions were waved on, and every marginal decision seemed to reinforce the sense that Nigeria was competing uphill. Footballers are acutely sensitive to officiating trends. Once players sense that the rules are being interpreted unevenly, frustration seeps in. Instead of playing freely, they begin to self-censor challenges, hesitate in duels, and argue decisions rather than resetting mentally. Morocco, emboldened by the referee's tolerance, increased their physical aggression. Nigeria, increasingly aggrieved, lost emotional balance. In knockout football, that emotional imbalance is often decisive. Adding to this was the overwhelming crowd dynamic. Morocco played not just as a team, but as an extension of the stadium itself. The Prince Moulay Abdallah Stadium in Rabat was a cauldron of red, a deafening, unified roar from 65,000 passionate Moroccans that acted as a tangible 12th man. Moroccan players and coaches unanimously credited this fervent support as a key motivational force, providing an extra surge of energy in challenging moments. Every tackle they made was met with thunderous approval, every Nigerian misstep amplified by noise. The crowd did more than cheer. It validated Morocco's intensity and subtly pressured officials. Nigeria, by contrast, were effectively playing away from home with minimal visible supporter presence. This can also be contrasted with the final, where Senegal's vibrant, massive, and well-organized traveling support created a formidable counter-presence that helped them withstand Moroccan pressure and ultimately claim the title. Nigeria's support was scattered and muted, with no organized supporters club, a consequence likely linked to the same organizational and financial disarray that plagued the team's bonuses. The absence of that emotional backing mattered. Footballers draw energy from affirmation, especially in hostile environments. When fatigue sets in and confidence wavers, crowd support can act as a stabilizer. Nigeria had no such buffer. When frustration mounted, there was silence rather than solidarity. That silence echoed in hesitant passes, rushed decisions, and growing tension between lines. Tactically, Nigeria also walked into one of their oldest continental traps, struggling against physically dominant, well-organized African opposition. Morocco executed a familiar blueprint with precision. They compressed space in midfield, disrupted Nigeria's rhythm with tactical fouls, and turned the match into a series of physical confrontations rather than a flowing contest. Nigeria attempted to play through this resistance, relying on technique and movement, but Morocco wanted the game fought, not played, and Nigeria fell short here. Number 3. Absence of Wilfred Ndidi. In the Super Eagles, Wilfred Ndidi is not just a defensive midfielder. He is the present captain and a psychological presence in a time when the team was playing demoralized due to being owed a large accrual of unpaid bonuses. In that semi-final, Wilfred Ndidi's absence also loomed large due to his ability to win duels, intimidate opponents, and impose himself physically, which often sets the tone for Nigeria's midfield battles. Without him, the balance shifted. Raphael Onyedika, though an excellent box-to-box midfielder, offers a different profile. He is more about finesse, positional intelligence, and smooth transitions than outright confrontation. Against Morocco, Nigeria needed someone to meet force with force, to disrupt, to snarl, to remind the opposition that midfield would be contested territory. In that context, Chrysanthus Uchi may have been an option that brings a physical edge, ball-winning aggression, and the willingness to engage opponents directly. Better still, this may be a good time to go after Leslie Ugochukwu as an alternative to Wilfred Ndidi. The more gritty options available for Nigeria in midfield, the better. Football is often about messaging. Introducing a more combative presence would have signaled that Nigeria understood the nature of the battle unfolding and was prepared to respond in kind. Instead, Nigeria persisted with a midfield setup that struggled to assert dominance in duels. Onyedika was not poor. He was simply miscast for the specific demands of that encounter. Number 4. Absence of a Plan B. Morocco exploited Nigeria's persistence in playing through the middle in Eric Chalet's diamond formation by overwhelming central zones, winning second balls, and repeatedly forcing Nigeria to restart attacks from deep. The result was a gradual erosion of momentum and belief. This tactical rigidity highlighted a broader issue: the absence of a credible Plan B. Once it became clear that technical buildup was being neutralized and physicality was dictating the game, adjustments were required. Those adjustments could have come in personnel, structure, or approach. Nigeria might have temporarily bypassed midfield congestion, exploited the wings, introduced more aerial threats, or rebalanced the team to strike in transitions. Instead, the approach remained largely unchanged, as if patience alone would eventually unlock Morocco's structure. By the latter stages of the match, Nigeria were no longer just losing tactically. They were emotionally drained. The accumulation of unpaid bonuses, perceived officiating injustice, hostile crowd energy, physical battering, and tactical frustration created a perfect storm of demoralization. No single factor broke the team, but together they wore them down. When belief fades, issues with execution follow. Passes lose conviction, run slow, and the margin for error disappears. In this context, focusing on an alleged argument between Osimhen and Lookman is not just inaccurate, it is convenient. It inadvertently shifts responsibility away from administrators who failed in their obligations. It avoids difficult conversations about preparation, adaptability, and institutional competence. It reduces a complex defeat to personal drama, and in doing so ensures that the underlying problems remain unaddressed. Nigeria did not lose the semi-final because of a dressing room disagreement. They lost because the system surrounding the team once again failed to support elite performance. They lost because Morocco were allowed to impose their physical and emotional terms, while Nigeria were left to navigate adversity without adequate institutional backing or tactical recalibration. Until Nigerian football confronts these realities honestly, history will continue to repeat itself. The talent will always be there. The passion will always exist. But without structural respect for players, adaptive coaching, and intentional support, moments like the Morocco semi-final will continue to end the same way. And when they do, another argument, another rumor, another scapegoat will be found. The truth, however, will remain unchanged, waiting patiently for a system ready to face it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed our video, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Also, please leave a comment on whether you agree with Sunday Oliseh's comment or agree with our summation. It helps the algorithm show this to more people so we continue to hold out football administrators accountable. Also, if you find it within your heart, send a donation to show some love and keep us motivated. See you in the next video.